Now that we've covered both Mario and Sonic, there's really only one more mascot character worth talking about. No, it's not Bubsy the Bobcat, or Crash Bandicoot, or Blasto. Seriously, what's wrong with you guys? I'm talking about Bonk, the TurboGrafx 16's prehistoric mascot hero who also went by the name PC Kid or PC Genjin, depending on where you were from. Although he was nowhere near as popular as his fully clothed counterparts, I've always had a soft spot for one of gaming's greatest cavemen. And, as so often is the case, that made me wonder, what did Electronic Gaming Monthly think of this series back when it first hit stores? Now, in case you're curious, EGM reviewed a total of 4 games in the Bonk series, as well as 2 Zonk games, Hudson's futuristic spin-off series. This includes all of the TurboGrafx sequels and one of Bonk's forays onto Nintendo hardware. We're also going to include Bomberman Hero, since that originally started out as a Bonk game, and because this is already a pretty short list. What we're going to do is count down the best and worst Bonk games using Electronic Gaming Monthly's own words and scores. There's no editorializing here, we're just going to focus on what the critics said back when these games first came out. So go and grab your favorite loincloth and take a big bite out of raw dinosaur meat, because this is another head-exploding episode of EGM Ranks Bonk.
TurboGrafx 16 is about to knock video games back into the Stone Age. It's 10,000 years ago. You're a cave dude. You are carnivorous. You've got to bonk 28 stages of prehistoric bad guys to rescue your excellent-looking princess. And you've only got one weapon. Bonk's Adventure, only on the TurboGrafx 16 system.
Kicking things off at number 7 is Super Air Zonk on the TurboDuo. I consider myself to be about average when it comes to shooters, but this one was way too easy for me. Compared to other Duo games, the graphics were not as detailed as one would expect. It plays well, but you don't really power up by choice here. If you're a loyal follower of the Bonk and Zonk theme, then this would be a good game to end the series with. Now, how about Dracula X? Number 6, Bomberman Hero on the Nintendo 64, which is not a Bonk game, but started out as one. Here's what I don't understand about Bomberman Hero. It's a Bomberman game with no multiplayer mode. Bomberman isn't really known for being a magnificent one-player game, so why make a game focusing on just that? Overall, this game's a major disappointment. I just can't see spending my hard-earned cash on something so mediocre. All you do in the game is walk around, blow up enemies, find stuff, blow up more enemies, and find the exit. It's a rental, at best. Number 5, Bonk on the Game Boy. While it is cute to see the Turbo Hero appear on the Game Boy, I am deeply disturbed by the blurred backgrounds and chopped up gameplay. Let's face it, this is a Turbo game and should never appear on a Nintendo system. What's next? Bonk on the Game Gear? Let's get real, folks. I want new titles. Number 4, Air Zonk on the TurboGrafx 16. What can I say? Air Zonk is really hard-hitting fun with awesome colors and sounds. The enemies are just as entertaining as the main character himself. And just wait until you see that last boss. Wow! The TurboGrafx 16 is really beginning to make a turnaround. I can't wait for more Zonk titles in the future. Number 3, Bonk's Revenge on the TurboGrafx 16. Bonk at his best. Take one look at the improved graphics and you'll love it. The famous Bonk spin isn't as smooth, but the levels are incredible. The graphics have been improved and the sounds have been enhanced. But the major flaw in this card is that the gameplay is taken a step down. If you liked Bonk, you might be disappointed. Number 2, Bonk's Adventure on the TurboGrafx 16. Forget about the crater mazes and the final laps. This is what the Turbo does best. Bonk is an excellent side-scrolling action-adventure loaded with superb graphics, excellent music and sound, and enough variety in the play mechanics to allow for all kinds of options. Great game. And finally, Electronic Gaming Monthly's #1 Bonk game, Bonk 3: Bonk's Big Adventure on the TurboGrafx 16. Bonk is a great character, and this third episode really shines. Although it really offers nothing completely new, except for his extreme shape changes, the game is still fun to play. The 2-player co-op mode is by far the best feature. The same kooky music and the cartoony backgrounds keep this game going. Bonk 3 is a great follow-up.
Today's lesson. Now get 2 free games with TurboGrafx, $69.99.
Hey, thanks for watching me take a look at these classic Bonk reviews. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we have a whole playlist full of episodes just like this, featuring Mario, Sonic, Ninja Gaiden, Castlevania, Resident Evil, Armored Core, Ridge Racer, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and so many more. I recommend that you call in sick and spend the rest of the day just binge watching hours of classic review shows just like this one. Now, here's the question I have for you. What is your favorite Bonk or Zonk game? For me, it really comes down to Bonk 3 and that first Air Zonk. There's just so much that can be done with both of these characters, and it's a real shame that they're just sitting there collecting dust. Bonk deserves better. Let me see your picks in the comments below. In other news, we'll be back later this week with a look at Mile Zero, the prequel to Road 96. Also, more magazine crap. If that sounds good to you, then I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.